Hello YouTube viewers, and welcome to my channel, Make Me One Woodworking. My name is Jerry, and today I'd like to present to you one of my latest projects. This is a wooden magazine rack or tabletop organizer. You call it whatever you want. So I'm going to show you how I made it. First of all, in the video I provide you with step-by-step plans that must be followed accordingly to make assembly as easy as possible. And now I will go to work. Thank you. Our first step is to make a template of the sides. This is what they will look like when they're cut. So to begin with, I'm going to cut out a 9x9 inch piece of posterboard. Okay, this will be the general shape of the template. My next step is to find a board that is suitable. This board will be for both edges combined. However, I suggest having it 3/4 inches thick. That way you know your stand will be sturdy. The sides must be perfectly equal to one another and perfectly symmetrical. And that is why I'm going to cut both sides at once. Now I'm ready to cut them. I'm going to improvise between my chop saw and my jigsaw. Okay, I have the two edges cut out. Now I'll need to smooth them both down by sanding them. Now that I have the basic sanding done, my next task is to remove the two pieces and sand them individually. As I do, I like to round the edges a little bit. Okay, the next step is to design the handle. We're going to do both the handle and the bottom of the stand today. And the template that I set was 19 inches long by 3.5 inches for the handle. Again, this is going to be a symmetrical handle. So I'm measuring 6 inches in because that's where it will meet each side. So once unfolded, these notches will fit over the sides. And now I'll draw the shape of the handle. Okay, now I'll pull out a board that will fit the dimensions, 19 inches by 3.5 inches. Now I have a board that I will use as the floor of the rack. I'm going to cut it to 12 inches long by 7 inches wide. Our next step is to create the divider wall. This will divide the rack into 2 equal halves. To make the rails of the divider, we will use a 2x4, and it is going to be ripped down into 5/8 inch strips as shown by the markings. So we have a foot from here to here. However, we will cut the rails so they fit in snugly. So we're going to cut this down just over a foot. And now we'll go to the table saw and slice a 2x4 into 5/8 inch strips. Now I have the 5 strips cut up, and my next step is to sand them down before I assemble the divider. Also, when you rip boards, there's going to be curvature indentations in them from the blade of the table saw. You'll want to sand them smooth. Here goes. And now I'm going to put the bars in. So before you put the bars in, you want to cut the trim. The trim pieces are inside corner trim, and it will be approximately 7 inches long. As you're fitting in the pieces, just eyeball them. And you can use the speed square. Make sure they're straight up and down and perfectly aligned with the handle. If you want, you can mark halfway points here. Also, you can let the handle be your guide to align the strips. Our first strip is in. Put a spacer in. And we'll put the second piece in. Okay, put the remaining pieces of the divider in, just as I have done, and you can use wide painter's tape to hold them in place until they dry. This will be a rather delicate process, so be patient. Okay. As you can see, the divider strips have dried and I removed the spacers. I have also glued in the inside corner strip pieces in all four corners where the divider meets the outer edges. Now is a good time to sand down the interior section and maybe apply a first coat of stain, as this will be easier without the front rails on. Now I have cut all the strips for both sides and I'm ready to put them on. Make sure they're sanded on all sides to your satisfaction before attaching them. Also, you can use the same 3/8 inch spacers you used when assembling the divider. When applying them, wood glue and masking tape is all that is necessary. Simply eyeball them and space them apart as evenly as possible. They need not be totally precise, as long as they all fit on there and look straight and even. You can use brads to fasten the rails in place, but I'd rather not because they could split the wood. Now that they're all glued in place, just give them 4 hours to dry. The opposite side is just the same, so I won't demonstrate that. And now I'll fast forward to our final task, the feet. All you need are 2 narrow strips of wood, something like 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch thick piece of plywood strip. Scrap wood will do just fine. The feet will be 2 7-inch strips of wood, and I will taper the ends off, sand them down, and glue them on. Once you glued the feet on and before they're dry, make sure they're glued on square to the fronts and equally spaced apart from the sides of the rack. Just a piece of scrap wood about 2 inches wide will do. Align the feet with the wood and allow 4 hours to dry. Okay, for those of you still watching, here is a magazine rack completed. I think it turned out rather nice. Again, this is fairly easy to make, and this makes a great gift and practically a useful item. I made one for a few people I know and they really liked it. And if you want to try and sell it, go ahead. Remember, I'm just a novice and may not have the level of expertise as some of you viewers. Anyway, it's the idea that counts. If you could give me suggestions on how to do things better, your comments are welcome. I'm open to constructive criticism, but please keep it kind. If you're still with me, please like and subscribe. Let me know how it goes if you decide to make one. Thank you for watching, and I will try to have another project soon.